Welcome to Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Vols JP, bringing you another recruiting video as Tennessee moves into its second week in April. And yes, we still do not have a commit. But don't fret. Yes, I have to admit, Vols JP is getting a little worried himself, but it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. At some point in time, Josh Heupel is going to get his first commit of the Tennessee era as a head coach, and I think that will calm the nerves a little bit of the folks that follow recruiting at Tennessee. But again, I'm not going to lie, it is a little worrisome that we're sitting here and recording this on April the 9th, and Tennessee still doesn't have a commit for the 2022 class. But nevertheless, I'm going to talk about some prospects that Tennessee has been talking to and some possible kids that are going to be showing up, hopefully for the open practice. As Tennessee, I thought it was really good that Heupel is offering this open practice during the spring, not only for the fans, but I think definitely that there was some recruiting discussion around that, since certainly the NCAA dead period is still extended currently through the end of May, so they can't have these kids on campus for official visits. So how about opening up a practice inside Neyland Stadium, offering it for the fans to come, but also telling some of these possible recruits, some of these kids that Tennessee's recruiting, hey, why don't you and your family show up, take it in, look at, see how that we do practice, all of those types of things like that. So I think that that's a very good move from Josh Heupel there. But before we get any further, though, if you would, we'd certainly appreciate it here at the Talkin VAWLS Network. If you would like, subscribe, and leave us some comments. What's your thoughts about the recruiting that's going on down at UT? What you think that Heupel needs to do? So, give this video a thumbs up if you would. We'd certainly appreciate it. Leave us some comments. And if you're not already a subscriber of the Talkin VAWLS Network, we'd certainly appreciate that. That way that anytime that we produce any kind of content uploaded or go live, that you'll be notified. I know that Boogie Bentley and Indy Kid's been pumping out videos like crazy. Appreciate those guys' efforts. I know Boogie Bentley put some videos out this week on some prospects. He's getting into the recruiting aspect of it. I know Indy Kid's always been into the recruiting, and he's been doing some basketball updates. So if you haven't checked out any of that, certainly give that a look, and we certainly appreciate it. But I'm going to get on with the recruiting news that's going on down in Knoxville. Again, like I said, Tennessee's going to have an open practice Saturday, tomorrow, April the 10th. And there is a couple of kids that are supposedly going to show up from the state of Tennessee. I'm going to share their profiles here. So the first one that has talked about showing up, hopefully the weather will be nice, is this Caden Pope kid out of Savannah, Tennessee, down in Horton County, wide receiver. Hopefully he'll be able to show up tomorrow. Of course, with this offense that Heupel runs, you would think that there would be a lot of these wide receivers that are interested in what Tennessee could possibly do there. So got Caden Pope. Sounds like he's been having some real good communications with Tennessee and so forth like that. So certainly a name to be watching there as far as Tennessee goes in the 2022 class. The next one that's up on the list, I know we've talked about this guy before. I think Boogie Bentley actually done a video on him just the other day, but talking about Isaiah Horton, another wide receiver. He's out of Murfreesboro, Riverdale, plays for, Murfreesboro, Oakland. Sorry about that. He'd probably get mad if I said he went to Riverdale, but Horton, he is a top 250 kid, so certainly somebody Tennessee would love to have. Big kid, 6'3". So Tennessee would certainly love to be able to get in with him, but they're having to battle some top schools with him. It looks like rumor has it that Florida felt like that they were in really good shape with him, but I've also heard that Miami is lingering around, and certainly Tennessee. Tennessee thinks that they have been having some good dialogue with him, but again, you just never know what these kids are going to do. With everything that's Tennessee's battling, everything Josh Heupel is having to recruit against, with all the negativity out there, the unknown, all of that, certainly it's going to be a challenge. But again, a wide receiver has to be a position that you think that would find this offense that Josh Heupel runs interesting. So hopefully this is one of those in-state kids that Tennessee can end up getting to commit, but we'll just have to wait and see. Don't know what kind of timeline there is on Horton there, so we'll just have to keep our eyes and ears open on that. Another kid from the state of Tennessee is going to try to make it down is Giovanni Davis, the defensive tackle from South Pittsburgh. If I'm not mistaken, that's where Eric Westmoreland was from, if I'm not mistaken on that. So, big defensive tackle. I think that Rodney Garner has been on him, trying to get him to commit. I think that they've had pretty good dialogue with him. And remember, even though that these kids can't visit on campus, there's been a lot of virtual meetings and discussions that they've had with these coaches and so forth like that. And I think that they can even do virtual campus tours and so forth like that. Now, these kids can show up on campus anytime that they want to, but because of the NCAA recruiting, dead periods extended, they can't have any kind of contact with the coaches, the way I understand it, while that they are on campus and stuff. But they can certainly show up and be given tours and so forth like that. Of course, all of it has to be on their dime. So with that, but want to kind of flip the script here a little bit and talk about two kids that probably aren't going to show up tomorrow, but somebody that Tennessee, the twins, the Wade twins, Destin and Keaton Wade, Tennessee certainly would like to have both of those kids. They've offered both of them. Certainly Keaton is the higher prospect of the two, but it sounds like Kentucky is really, really making a strong push. And I hate to say this, but my goodness, we just can't be losing in-state recruits to Kentucky that we actually want. But supposedly the pitch is Destin, that they're promising him a great opportunity at quarterback. Who knows what you can believe there. I've read stuff that they saying that he's the only quarterback that they would take if he would commit and so forth like that. So I think that those two kids are up at Kentucky this weekend or maybe earlier this week doing one of those visits. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. From my understanding, I think that they are supposed to have their commitment next Friday. I believe the 16th. So I think Tennessee's got some work to do there. It would be a gut punch, I'll just say it, if Tennessee loses out on these two kids. Certainly, Keaton Wade, I feel like that he's certainly a kid that could end up helping Tennessee and possibly Destin as well. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. My orange-colored glasses on, there's just no way that these – I don't know. It's just hard for me to see these in-state kids go to these rival schools and, especially Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky in football, I mean, what? They beat Tennessee 3 times in the last 33, 35 years, whatever it is. I'd be thinking long and hard about that. Hopefully that those kids will end up seeing that the in-state school is where that they need to be, regardless of what Kentucky's saying. And hopefully those kids will announce for the Big Orange next week. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. Finally, the last kid that I want to mention is one I've done the recruiting video on last week, and that's the quarterback out of Indiana, Mr. Tavin Jackson. Big news, it appears that he is planning to make the trip down for the open practice Saturday. So you have to take that as positive. If him and his family is planning on coming down on their own dime to take in an open practice, you have to think that that bodes well for where the Tennessee feels like that they're at with this kid and with his current commit or his current status. And I did see today also noticed that he had tweeted out that he has already scheduled an official visit, I believe in June, at Tennessee. So he's planning on coming in for a weekend on his official visit in June. Of course, all of that is depending upon the NCAA opening up the official visits and removing the dead period that is currently in place. But Tavin Jackson is supposed to be in Knoxville. Everybody, let's have our fingers crossed that I know they're calling for some rain and some weather to move in. Tennessee needs to have a big day tomorrow. They need to show some excitement. This current team needs to be able to get some energy going in front of the fans. But to me, more importantly, some of these kids that are going to show up tomorrow that are considering Tennessee as their school of choice. So we need it to be nice. If we can all just hope and pray that the weather is nice on Saturday, so it can be a good experience for these recruits and these fans as well that plan on going. But that's going to wrap it up. That's all that Vols JP has. Hopefully here soon that we will have us a commit, and maybe I can do a video breaking down those commits once they do start committing and kind of talking about them individually there and what I feel like that Tennessee's getting with them. But we're just waiting. We're just waiting for that first one to drop, and hopefully when the first one drops, whoever it is, maybe that will get some momentum going, and we can get some kids committed and ready to sign come December and next February as well. But until then, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And all I've got left to say is go Base Vols. I hope that you absolutely destroy the Florida Gators this weekend. Go Vols.
How like we poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we draw home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like we poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit